Good afternoon. It's Donna with Cross Stitch on the Hill. How are you? This is Friday. I'm shaky. I need one of those gizmos that holds your phone steady, because it's not me. Oh, sorry. Anyhow, I thought I'd give you a close-up view of my countertop in my sewing room. And this is probably mild to what it usually is. So I need to get this straightened up. Here's my cabinet over my countertop that my husband made whenever we built our house. And that, oh please, okay. That is half of my DMC. It goes from 778 to 3869, 3880, 3895. And then those four last drawers are the variegated in DMC. So these are where I keep some of my patterns. The green is Prairie Schooler. That's all my Prairie Schooler. These other two say Seasons and Winter. They're kind of scrambled up. And there's some more in here. And then I've got my Blackbird in this last one. And I've got Blackbird in here. And these are my punch needle magazines. And Brenda Gervais, Plum Street. And then these are all my patterns, small patterns. They're not letter sheet letter size. And those are some of my Lori Holt. And this is the rest of my DMC. It's 1 through 779. I've got 778 and 779. I must be a surplus of that. That must have been my favorite color. So here's my Sager's Praise on my Gus frame. And I've got a box of these little gizmos with they're little cardboard things with holes in them that you can hang your thread from for projects. I think it's got like 14 holes, and I just dangle my thread through it. I use that on my DMC. And there's a mustard seed container that was empty, so I put my broken needles in it, which I have had 2 this week. And then my little clips are in here, my little color clips. And here's some of my notebooks that I keep notes in, my Prairie Schooler, and my index cards that I use whenever I start a project. I put the name on the index card and the linen count and name. But I've just started doing that in the last couple of months. I don't have my older ones. And there's some project bags, some small ones that I can keep thread in when I start a new one. Here's my Cobalt, a little toolbox that I keep. This bottom drawer has stuff that I use for my lacing whenever I lace the back, whenever I finish a project. And then over here I've got Kryneck in that drawer. I've got scissors in this drawer, and buttons and bells in these 2 drawers. And I got my Vicky Clayton right here. And in this green container is threads that I need to put away. And I've got some little lights. And this light right here was my dad's. He always had it on his table, his desk, where he had his ham radio. When I was little, I remember this lamp. And I don't think I've ever put a bulb in it. I think it's got probably the original, or I don't think I've ever changed the bulb in it. And it's still burning. And I was going to show you, without making you too dizzy, my Lowry table clamp. And I put a lot of my Lowry on here, but it hangs down too close to my table. So, my husband used to be a plumber, and he still got some of his copper piping and stuff. And so I had him cut me some little copper pipes, and I just take my Lowry rod out and drop in some copper pipe, put the pipes here and drop this down inside them, and it raises it up. So it's at the perfect height for the table here. Because my hand, I couldn't get my hand under it. I kept bumping into that thing right there. So that's how when I'm sitting up here, I use that, or I use the Gus. I usually use the Gus with the bigger projects. So that's what I do. So I'll continue on. Thanks. Okay, I've been working on Spell of the Moon. That moon is so many stitches. Of course, I always say this, but I should get it finished this week, but I always say that also, so. But that's one of the ones I've been working on. So, then I've also been working on Merry Friends. I love this. It's so cute. The ice skates was a little hard. I'm not the best back stitcher. Seems like my thread felt fuzzy. And I'll probably have to outline Santa's beard because it looks really pale. But it's such a cute stitch. I love it. And I've just been skipping around working on everything. That's why I haven't really gotten anything finished. So I started the Simply Spring by the Drawn Thread. I started the tree. And that's the leaves, but they've got flower blooms in them, and the flower blooms are satin stitch. I need my board. Forgot I had the window behind me. The satin stitch. But I just made my cabin like the pattern called for. I didn't do it 3 stories, and I just added onto the smoke. So we have a really big fire going there. So, well, don't think I'm going to be able to lay it over there. And then this one is one of the first ones I ever started. Of course, I started on a big one for me at the time. But the stitches in it are, I love the coloring. Can you see it? I keep wiggling it around. I don't mean to. It's Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. And I really need to finish it because it's really a pretty one. But I don't have a frame. I need to order another Q-snap. I don't know what I had it in. I think I had it in one of the wooden frames, I think. I don't like putting my frames over my stitches. I just don't like doing that. And plus it seems like it makes a crease in it that you can't ever get out. And so here's the threads. I'm using the call for threads. And the fabric that I've used is Winter's Brew. And I'm pretty sure that's the call for. Get that over here. And this one I haven't started yet, but I've got it in a Q-snap ready to start. And I think I showed it last week. it's a Blackbird. It's what is the name? First Winds of Autumn, and it's in a book. And there was the DMC, and I take a 6-strand, and I hang it on here, and then I put the number up here, because I don't like reaching down in this bag and going through every thread and looking at the number. When if I put a strand on here, I use it till it's all gone, and then I just redo it. But that's usually how I do it. Used to. And then let's see, this is Old Sheep 20 count. I'm pretty sure I got that from Kitten Stitcher. I think it'll look really good on that. And this one I bought because I wanted to do some smalls. These frames I'm not real tickled with, because to me they leave a mark, because I like mine to be in a frame that's tight. So I don't, but this piece of fabric, and I don't know the color, is from Stitch Me. She posted a grab bag, and it had a bunch of different, I think it's 18 count. It had a bunch of different fabrics in it, but they didn't have names. They were just cut pieces. And I was going to put Olga on it by Plum Street. I think she's so cute. I love that kitty cat. So, I don't know. I don't have a Q-snap that's small, and if I do, it's hard to fiddle with it. So, I don't know. I guess I'll try it in that frame. We'll see. And then I pulled out this I showed to you last week, the North Pole, the Christmas village. And this was Santa's house. And I got his roof started in the snow that's on top. I thought I had some more, but I haven't come across them. But there's a bunch of stuff that I know I have, and I don't know where it could be, because I've looked. I guess I can look again. So, and I'm wanting to start another Prairie schooler. And I grabbed this one because I like the sewing machine. I had a sewing machine, the featherweight, and then I sold it because it just sat on a shelf and I never used it. So this is the 2006 Santa, this one is. And then I'm going to do the 1988 Santa, but I don't have the cover sheet for it. I do, but I don't know where it is. So all I've got's the pattern for it. And I'm going to try this again. This is the fabric that all the Prairie schoolers call for, the Davos or Davos, the 18 count. To me, it just wiggles all over the place. And I don't know if you sprayed it with some spray starch, it would stiffen up, or if you just put it in there tight enough. But I think I tried it a while ago, years ago, whenever I started back into cross stitch, and I didn't like it. Maybe I've got a little more experience now, and I can do it a little better. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, 'cause I haven't coughed all day. And this one I want to do, Bony Bunch. Oh, please. I bought this, and then I must have liked it so much and thought it was so cute, I bought it again. So I've got two. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the other one. because I don't really know anybody that cross stitches. And I wanted to put it on this because I thought it would show up really cute, but I can't stand the wrinkles. And I don't know if I can iron them out or not. But also, I've cut this because I used it for something else. So I'm going to have to see if I've got enough fabric that will go on. If I don't, then I'll have to move on. So then I have some haul. Got some patterns that I'm wanting to do. I want to do this one. Isn't he cute? But there again, there is my crow. So this is Share the Joy from Hands to Work. I've seen somebody show this, and it's really cute. And I've had this one for a couple of years because I wanted to do all of these, but it would be too big. So I just want to do the 4 seasons, one of each one. But I never can figure out which one I want to start with. I don't know if I want to do this one, but I love the reindeer. So it's always a dilemma. But I've got the other ones. I finally got the other one. It was out of stock for a while, and so I had my name on a list, and it came back in, and I purchased it. And this, I saw somebody do this one. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. Token of Love by With a Needle and Thread. I love the browns and the blues. So pretty. And I don't know if I have... I know I've got the fabric, but I don't know if I have the thread. So I purchased. And this one, I saw everybody doing it. I ordered it because somebody had done it, and it was so pretty. But then when I got the pattern, it's so dark. I really don't think it turns out that dark because I've got the threads, and they don't. I can lighten it up. I can get a shade lighter if it looks like it's going to be dark, but it's such a pretty pattern. And this one I've had for probably one of the first ones I ever got. That is such a cutie. Letters for Santa by With a Needle and Thread. Isn't that adorable? She has the best Santas. And Teresa Kogut does also. I love hers. But then there's this one I've had. Kringle and Woolard. Too cute. Too cute. That's by Plum Street. So, one of these will be a start. But then I've got a Brenda Gervais that I'm in her Patreon, so I think it was in the last one. It was an alphabet with birds. And I really like that, so I don't know. I may start that too, so we'll see. So, here's more of my red and white blocks. I've got that one. I really need to start putting them together because I've got enough. I need to see how many I've got. I've got a lot. So I need to see how many I've got and how I could best lay it out. They're all pressed and ready to go. That one's similar. That one's just like the other one. I must have really liked that one. I've got a lot of red fabric. This is the batik. It's not, I mean, the background's red. But I like the pinky purple running through it. And this more batik. Batik is really stiff to me, but it made it pretty. It sewed up really easy. I like the stars. Or it can be that way. And another star. Oh, same one. So I think whenever the weather cools off a little bit, I got my machine handier now, so never have sewn my pants for my husband, so I need to do that. And then this one, I had some Mickey Mouse, so I fussy cutted out the corners. And I have more, but we'll save that for another time. And this little quilt I made for my mom many years ago. She wanted a wall hanging, and she must have picked out the pattern. So I made this for her. My mom's gone now. She passed away several years ago. But I made that for her, and she always had it hanging up. So I need to hang it up, but I don't have that much wall. I don't have any wall space hardly in here unless I hang it. We got really tall ceilings in here. This room has a really high ceiling in it. And I found my snowman quilt, but it needs pressing, but I'm not going to press it. So it's not big enough for my bed by any means, and I wouldn't want it any. I mean, it's kind of rectangular. I mean, I loved applique. Always, and that's what I did for the longest period. I made a Halloween house for my daughter that was the cutest thing ever, with these little kids all dressed up in their costumes. And the quilt store actually hung it up on their wall for a while around that time. And I always wanted to make me one, but I never did. We don't celebrate Halloween, but I thought the wall hanging was cute. There's 12 blocks. This is by Sue Garman, and I think you can still get it. And it's January through December. That was the one I liked the best. I thought that was so cute. I loved the fire. I had lots of fabric. I saved little bitty pieces because I do applique. So I've got all kinds of little pieces. So and that's the last one. That's the December one. But this is cute. I just don't know what to do with it. I wish there was some way I could make it into a quilt that would lay on my bed, but it would, if I made it wider, then it's going to be too long. Because I'm OCD, I think everything's got to be the same all the way around. So anyhow, that was, I couldn't believe I found it. The lady that I'm friends with in another state, we met each other right after 2001, right around the time that everything was happening with the World Trade Center and everything. So she liked to applique too. So we both did this quilt. I believe I don't think she got as far as I did, but she's got her blocks too. So anyhow, that's what I've been doing this week. So more cleaning out. I guess I'll clean out some more too. I'll have to re-clean my countertop over there because I've already got stuff sitting on it again. So that's how I roll. Anyhow, I hope you have a blessed day. Like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. I love it when I've got comments. I love to talk to people. I've met so many people, and you say the nicest things. I really appreciate it, and thank you very much. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.